Spot at 79 degrees, almost hitting our 80-degree mark for today, making almost a 40-degree temperature difference from this morning to the high. Look at the water vapor for today. This is the main story that we have right now. Lots of dry air surrounding all of Florida. So we have significantly low dew points, and we won't have any moisture coming in until the cold front starts to bring a couple of storms into our region over the weekend. Tonight's forecast, however, is going to be clear and calm, 58 degrees. We do have clouds building overnight, so notice how we're not seeing those 40-degree temperatures anymore, and that is due to calm wind and lots of clouds up there. For the rest of tonight, we're going to have another cold front coming in this weekend, a big cool down before Halloween, and average temperatures later next week. But for now, let's go ahead and bring it back to the desk.
No, actually, Jordan, we're going to take it over into the lab for this week's look at your Friday answer to your trivia question. Every Thursday, we bring you the trivia question on our Twitter. Our Twitter is twitter.com/FSU Weather. You can check it out every Thursday for your Twitter question and every Friday for your Twitter answer. So this week's question posted yesterday.
Thank you, Dylan. So today on our Happy Friday, it is the last Friday of October. We had below average temperatures of 76 as our high and 45 as our low, both below the average, but you know, above record. So it wasn't terribly cold, but it was a really nice day today. And all over the region, we have these lows across the 40s. Lowest here in Perry and Valdosta, and then as we move over to the west, we have 47 in Mariana, and then 45 in Tallahassee. Our high temps today, a little bit warm but comfortable, 76 in Tallahassee, 77 in Thomasville, a little bit high in Bainbridge at 79, and 77 in Mariana. Once again, 78 in Perry, which was actually pretty high considering their low was one of the lower ones. As we look into November and we come into fall, it's not really our rainy season anymore. We are looking at a pretty dry month. In this lower coastal regions, we have a 40% chance of being below our average in rain, and then decreases a little bit to 33% as you move more north. Tonight's forecast is really going to be a beautiful night. It's going to be 58 degrees, clear, calm, really nice, good going out weather, hanging out. Clouds will be building up into the night, which will actually keep our overnight temperatures a little bit warmer than usual. It's just it'll be the outskirts of this cold front that's coming through tomorrow, which is why we have this temperature of 79 for the high tomorrow. It's going to be a rainy afternoon. It's the next cold front that's coming through. Winds are pretty light from the northwest, lighter considering it's a cold front that's coming through. It's going to be a great day to just hang out inside, maybe study, read a book, take a nap. Take a nap all Saturday. It'll be nice. Our 5-day, though, It's looking wonderful. Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be a little bit rainy, a little bit cloudy, but we see these temperatures of 65 on Sunday is our high and 46 are low. And then Monday morning, low of 36. It's going to be a rough time to get out of bed if you have an 8 a.m., not going to lie. Tuesday, it's not shown, but there's an 80% chance of spookiness going on because it is Halloween. It's going to be a beautiful day, though. High of 75 and low of 39. So, you know, keep that in mind when you're costume planning. It might be a little cooler than you think. And then on Wednesday, we have 79 as our high. It's warming up just a little bit. We still have lows in 47. It's going to be a really nice week. And now we're going to hand it off to Dylan.
Yeah, thank you very much, Francesca. We're going to take a look at the southeast. We're going to start off with one of our former students on FSU weather. He sent in a picture. Shane Pendleton, clear clouds ahead of this front. And like my tie indicates, there are a lot of clouds. This front's coming for us. Shane, located in Alabama, Huntsville right now. So he's seeing a lot of those clouds ahead of there earlier than we are here in Tallahassee. Right now, you can really see where that front is. Look at this orange and yellows. Look at these greens and blues. That is a very defining line of where the front is currently sitting. You're going to see 51 behind the front, 55 behind the front as well, and so with 58. You're seeing those cool temperatures behind it. But look ahead. Here in Tallahassee, we're at 71 degrees. Down in New Orleans, they're seeing 78 degrees, and in Montgomery, they're seeing 74. So right now, ahead of that front, it is very warm. But behind that front, you can see those big temperature changes. Definitely really seeing where that front is lying and showing it coming. Satellite radar. So earlier in the loop, you can see that there's not a lot of showers. Showers are starting to build up with that front and starting to make its way eastward for us. So when we see showers tomorrow, there is the possibility of a severe thunderstorm. Nothing to be concerned about, but just to be aware. Check with your local meteorologist and the National Weather Service for information. But as this front makes its way eastward, we're going to see some showers associated with that. It's going to kind of rain on your Saturday afternoon. Things are not looking good. Here's the 24-hour temperature change, though. Really apparent how strong this front is. Seeing 38-degree temperature drop in Abilene, Texas, and 22 in Austin. Ahead of that front, we're going to see kind of a warm-up, though, in New Orleans with 5 degrees, and Atlanta seeing 1. The real issue here, the real thing to take away, how strong this front is. We saw a 51-degree change in Denver yesterday. Very big drop. You're going to see 27 degrees in Little Rock. That's why it's going to feel into the 30s on Tuesday morning. We're going to see those really cool temperatures for us here as the front moves eastward. For our current winds, ahead of that front, you see these winds out of the south. We're at 8 miles per hour in Tallahassee, 13 in New Orleans. But behind the front, you're going to see 15 out of the north in Tupelo and 8 and 13 out of the north in Little Rock and Shreveport, really indicating where that front is currently lying for us now. Watches and warnings. Look at all this blue. Look at all this light and dark blue. Those are freeze watches and frost warnings. Currently, we're going to see that nothing too impactful for us now, but it is something to be aware for those folks in Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, how strong, and Arkansas as well, how strong and how impactful this front is for us here in Tallahassee tonight. Really seeing as that front starts to make its way eastward where the front's lying. You're going to see 36 degrees in Little Rock, but only 52 in Montgomery. We're going to see that drop off in the next couple of days. For Tupelo, they're going to see 40 degrees. We're getting into those borderline freezing temperatures with this front, a very, very strong front. For us here in Tallahassee, we're only seeing 53 degrees. And like Francesca mentioned earlier, we're going to see a warm-up from yesterday. Those clouds not going to leave a lot of solar radiation cooling us down here, but it's going to be a little warm for us. Make things a little more pleasant. Cloud cover is definitely picking up. Down in my home city of Miami, seeing 72 degrees, though it is feeling much more comfortable than it was a couple days ago. Feeling great for my folks down there. For tomorrow, we're going to see 79 degrees and showers for us here in Tallahassee. But behind that front, look at that cool temperatures. You're going to see 57 in Atlanta. Shout out to our student Michael Anand for going home this weekend, and 80 in Savannah. It is warming up ahead of that front, but really cool behind that front. Look at those clear skies in Tupelo, Little Rock, and Shreveport. Feeling very, very nice. But right now, I'm going to send it over to the desk with Margaret to take a look at butterflies, I think.
That's right, Dylan. That is one of the local events I'm going to be talking about, and one of the main events this weekend, weather permitting. The St. Mark's Wildlife Refuge down in Wakulla County will be hosting its annual Butterfly Festival for the arrival of monarch butterflies. They migrate all the way down to Mexico, and this is one of their stops on their way to Mexico before they make the trip across the Gulf of Mexico to get down to Mexico for the winter. So the butterflies make their stop off at the St. Mark's Wildlife Refuge, and part of the reason we're talking about this is that the winds of a cold front while they're making their migration have an impact on their migration patterns, what speed they're traveling at, and where exactly in Florida they end up making that stop to get nectar from flowers to feed before they make their trip down to Mexico. So the St. Mark's Wildlife Refuge down in Wakulla County does have that festival going on this weekend. It's going to be a little bit rainy tomorrow afternoon with the cold front coming through, but it's a really cool event. They are tagging butterflies. They will have food available there, and it's a great educational outdoors event. Other events going on around town that are ongoing events. Up at McClay Gardens on the north side of town, just past I-10, they have their scarecrows in the gardens, so if you like just walking around, tomorrow might not be the best day with the rain in the forecast, but they're going to have scarecrows in the gardens through early November, and both St. Mark's and McClay Gardens are state parks, so there is an admission fee there that you can check out on their websites, but they're both really cool parks, a great way to get outdoors and enjoy the beautiful scenery we've got around here in the Tallahassee and surrounding areas. And with the fall theme with the scarecrows, a great way to get outside with kids and wander around, keep them busy. So it's a great activity out there. And now I'm going to send things out to Dylan for a national look at things.
Temperatures and seeing 90 degrees. I was actually joking with Margaret, our producer, how even in November or in October, Phoenix is the hot spot. 90 degrees. That is awful. They're not going to see any of the effects of the cold front we are going to see here. See Dallas at 51, cooling off behind this front, and New Orleans ahead of that front at 78, feeling warmer than it is here for us in Tallahassee at 71. Here's the national outlook. There is a front. There is high pressure. Here's the front, draping down all these showers across the southeast and the northern part of northeast of the country, associated with these two areas of low pressure. You can see that other high pressure over here, which was associated with that other front that passed through earlier this week. But behind that front, high pressure will take over and clear out skies for most of the country. Zooming in a little bit more, you see in Wisconsin and Michigan Wisconsin and Michigan, they're seeing some snow and showers associated with this occluded front. So it's seeing a lot of rain there associated with there. If you're living there, be aware. But look at this. Here's that cold front draping down through the parts of Michigan and into Indiana and starting to make its way east and affect us. National watches and warnings are showing cool winter weather advisories, with national freeze watches and warnings for them. So it's something to take into account if you're in the middle part of the country. Just be aware. You're going to see down in South Florida, though, they're seeing some small craft advisories and some hurricane or tropical storm watch warnings right now. That's associated with a potential tropical cyclone, which I'll talk about in the lab coming up in a little bit. 24-hour temperature change. You're going to see 35-degree drop in Memphis, really cooling things down. In Dallas, 34 degrees, very, very cool. But behind that front, we're going to see a little bit of warm up. But look how far this front drapes down most of the country. Just feeling very, very pleasant. Good way to complement us here in Tallahassee after our first front that's come through. Tonight's forecast, 27 degrees in Minneapolis. That is cool. That is nice. 29 in Denver. If you're out, want to go skiing in Denver, I think it's the start of the season already. They're going to feel a lot of cool temperatures, though. Though Phoenix is going to get a cool down from their 90 degrees today, 64 tonight. Just a beautiful night around the country when it comes to temperatures. For tomorrow, though, going to see some rain for us here in Tallahassee, 79 degrees, but sunshines for most of the state. Behind that, or most of the country, 62 degrees in Dallas, 67 in San Antonio, and Miami also seeing some showers for that. But now I'm going to hand it off to Jordan with a local look.
Thanks so much, Dylan. Right now, we're going to start to see clouds rolling into our region, and that temperature is still staying quite high, 71 degrees here in Tallahassee under mostly cloudy skies. Looking to our north, sunnier conditions, as a matter of fact, as that cold front hasn't just reached them, and the clouds will be moving in later into the evening. 73 Valdosta and 75 up in Albany. Here's our satellite radar. Not much to see in terms of precipitation, but you do see this big line of clouds moving its way into our region. Even a couple of coastal showers just south of Pensacola are going to be making their way into our region over the next coming days. Current winds right now, out of Tallahassee, we have sustained winds at 8 miles per hour, and that's coming from the south. So notice all the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico is coming into our region, making that humidity a big factor in terms of temperature and comfort level over the next coming days. If you want to head out this weekend, certainly go to the Flying High Circus tonight and tomorrow from 7 to 9 p.m. Looks to be a great night to do. It's 70 degrees, and it's going to be cooling off significantly as you head into the evening hours. As we head into Boston, FSU is going to be at Boston College. Notice how a lot of clouds is coming through their region, especially associated with that cold front and that low pressure system sitting right over them. Tonight, it's going to be at 8 p.m., 54 degrees, so they will be seeing much better weather than they have been seeing with this current map. If you want to head out to the Halloween Howl at the Tallahassee Museum this weekend, it's going to be a great night to do that because they do have a haunted trail if you can brave the rain. So add a little bit of spooky factor to that. It's going to be 79 degrees, so be sure to bring that umbrella if you're not too comfortable with those rainy activities. We also have the Tallahassee Science Festival this weekend, Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So it's going to be a great day to do that for science activity. It's going to be rather cool outside, 77 degrees. However, there is going to be rain later in the event. So be sure to go there early if you want to get the most out of your day there. The next week ahead, we have a lot to talk about going on. This weekend might not be the best weekend to go outside. We do have a large chance of rain as the next cold front comes through our region, 70%, especially by the evening hours. So that temperature is going to stay quite high into the next coming days. As you head into Sunday, a significant cool down as those clouds begin to move out of our region and those clear skies and drier conditions prevail with that cold front. Look at that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're going to start to see 60s for your highs as we start to see 80s creeping their way into the forecast. But what I do like to see are these lows. 36 degrees. I have not seen 30 degrees in quite some time. So certainly good to see that ahead. Even on Tuesday, we also have 30s again. So it's going to be the best day to wear some layers if you want to head outside, or especially if you have early classes. Be sure to take that jacket off as you head outside for that. But for now, we are going to bring it back to the lab where Dylan's going to be standing by.
Thank you very much, Jordan. We're going to take a look at the potential tropical cyclone 18, how I mentioned in the national look, with those warnings in South Florida right now. There it is. It is in the Western Caribbean. Currently has a wind speed of 35 knots, 40 miles per hour, sitting south of Cuba. Now the track for that, we're going to see the front, see it move northeastwards south of South Florida. Cuba is going to really help in slowing down the storm. On top of that, the front we've been mentioning a lot for our local look is really going to help that. You can see this front draped here, see the peeking out of potential tropical cyclone 18. We put it into motion. You're going to see as it moves, the front pushes potential tropical cyclone 18 down and out from our area, saving us for something potentially deadly. But good for us here, and just going to bring some rain. But on top of that, it's going to bring a lot of rain in the northeastern portions of the country. It's going to turn into a northeastern. Not a real threat for a lot of land, but something to look at. Here are the tracks for it. Spaghetti model right now. You're going to see it goes through Cuba and South Florida. Not a threat for us here in Tallahassee, thankfully, but for the folks down in Cuba and South Florida already ravaged by other hurricanes this season, something to take a look at. A lot of damage has already happened there, so they will need help in surviving going through the storm, but it's something to look at and be concerned for the folks there. Another spaghetti model really showing it's not going to be a threat for North Florida at all. Cuba and South Florida are the biggest targets with this potential cyclone. Something to look at, though, is how intense this cyclone will get. Here's the chart. This green indicating tropical storm level category. Category 1 is yellow. Most of the models have it only sticking at a tropical storm, so nothing really too crazy, but that doesn't mean that is not impactful or not a crazy storm that is big in proportion. But right now, I'm going to send it back to the wall with Francesca for an Around Florida look.
Thank you, Dylan. And as we take a look at our beautiful state of Florida, we can see everywhere is in the 70s aside from Miami, which is just scraped at 80 degrees. Still, as a South Florida native, I know that 77 and 80 degrees is fall weather. Like, we take that willingly as beautiful fall weather. And we have 73 in Orlando, and up in northern Florida, we have 71 in Pensacola and Tallahassee. Water vapor all over. It's very dry over the whole state of Florida, and we just get a glimpse of this cold front that will be coming through, that nice green band of moisture, but overall, it's very dry outside. And our winds primarily are coming from the east across the state and everywhere except for us. We are the exception. We're getting some nice southerly winds that are bringing up some moisture, but for the most part, winds are coming from the east. They're a little bit, they're mild at 13 and 12 miles per hour. And tonight's forecast, we have a nice night in the 60s, 69 here in my hometown of West Palm, 72 in Miami, and in the 50s in Tallahassee and Jacksonville with 61 in Pensacola. Tomorrow's forecast, though, going to be rainy in South Florida. All over, we have this thunderstorms building up, 81 and rainy and stormy in West Palm. Same in Fort Myers, only 77. In Orlando, we just had some clouds coming, 83. But we start seeing that temperature gradient form in Pensacola, where it's going to be 64 and it's dropping to 79 in Tallahassee. And at 81, you really see that cold front push on through tomorrow. And oh my God. Sunday's forecast, we're going to have really nice, beautiful skies. Going to be cooling off here, 65 in Tallahassee, 66 in Pensacola. And then as we push through and get those cooler temperatures, and then the cold front's going to be down in South Florida, pushing through, bringing them some more storms. Fortunately, their weekend is going to be pretty cloudy, pretty rainy, but nonetheless, you're going to get some cooler temperatures, which is going to be a blessing. And now we're going to hand it off to Jordan with the local.
Thanks so much, Francesca. Right now in Tallahassee, we're sitting pretty comfortable at about comfortable 71 degrees right now. Notice that dew point and humidity value, it's rising significantly, and that is due to the mostly cloudy skies we are experiencing. Notice how that wind is just out of the south at about 8 miles per hour. That's helping to fuel a lot of the moisture in the atmosphere and increase a lot of the cloud coverage we'll be seeing over the next coming days. Currently around the Big Bend, 71 Tallahassee, 73 Monticello, and 74 in St. Mark's. So mid to lower 70s throughout much of the Big Bend. You don't see a very large temperature gradient. However, we will be seeing that as we go into our futurecast. Here's that low pressure system associated with that cold front. It's going to push this high pressure from the last front right out of the way as we head into Saturday morning. Right around lunchtime, it's sitting right over us. So we're going to start to expect to see a lot of significant rain coverage by then. Nothing too severe, luckily, but be sure to plan for that accordingly. As we head into Saturday night into Sunday morning, this front is still going to extend throughout much of the eastern seaboard, even reaching as far as South Florida, where they will see some rainy conditions for their weekend as well, but they will see cooler temperatures as a result. As we go farther into Sunday evening, that front's still just staying there, so we will start to see temperatures cool off significantly by then. Tonight's forecast, it is going to be very clear and very calm skies. 58 degrees is what we predict for tonight, and that is due to the increasing cloud coverage we are seeing. So with all this moisture in the atmosphere, all that heat from the land cannot radiate up into space like it normally would, so we are seeing higher temperatures as a result of that. Significantly around the region as well, especially by the coast. Look at St. Mark, 67 degrees. Carabel expecting 69 tonight. Apalachicola being the hot spot at about 70 degrees. Tomorrow's forecast, we are going to see the next cold front making its way through our region. However, we will see higher temperatures as a result of that. So no more of those comfortable 60s that we saw over the past couple of days, but we will be seeing that later into the work week. Here's that next cold front coming through. Again, that south wind just fueling these storms as they make its way into our region. High 70s throughout much of our area. Perry, we predict about 80 degrees tomorrow. So sad for them that they don't get a break from the 80s like we will. The next week ahead, we have our football game tomorrow. We do expect significant rainstorms, especially even into the Boston College area, where we will start to see a lot of those afternoon showers. 70% chance of rain. Again, 79 degrees, so significantly warmer than what we've seen over the past couple of days. Notice Sunday morning, though, 46 degrees. It might not be as cold as what we see on Monday, but that is due to the cloud coverage. Again, once those clouds block that heat from radiating away from the planet, so we start to see a lot higher temperatures as a result. Monday, Tuesday, once those skies are clear, significant drops is the main story. 36 on Monday morning and 39 on Tuesday morning. So be sure to wear those layers, especially as it warms up significantly into the mid-70s. As we see even later in the week, we start to see those mid-80s, or mid-70s, even to the upper 70s, even reaching lower 80s in our region. So we will start to see those temperatures go back to what they are today. However, I actually don't mind the temperatures that we have today, right guys?
I like the temperature we had today. I get to wear jeans.
It was beautiful. It started out cool, and then towards the end of the day, you could really just sit outside in the shade, study. You don't have to get pent up in the library just to stay warm.
No, it was definitely feeling great. Feeling really like fall. That's the thing we're trying to stress here.
I enjoy the fact that I can drink hot coffee and not sweat.
I do.
That's my favorite thing about fall.
I don't like hot coffee normally,
You're
but
wrong.
with these cool temperatures, it actually gets me to drink hot coffee.
Hot coffee is better, but that's here nor there.
That's here nor there, right. Moving into this weekend, we're going to see some rain chances tomorrow, though.
Yeah, we are. Luckily, I have a lot of studying to do. I can just stay inside and not feel bad like I'm missing out on a great day.
No, definitely, but by Sunday, you might be able to go outside.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go outside.
Hopefully.
I mean, you won't get rained on, hopefully. We're going to see some cloud cover, but it is cooling off quickly ahead of that, or behind that front.
It's going to be chilly on Monday.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready for it. I'm going to complain. I know it.
36 degrees as a low, that's getting close to freezing. That's scary.
I can't do it. I look forward to it.
Are you just gonna skip classes? Is that your way of dealing with it, never leaving the home?
No, I'm not going. Well, I don't have morning classes on Monday, so Tuesday's going to be rough.
Tuesday's
going to be rough.
It's going to be rough getting out there. I'm going to freeze really bad. But hey, you can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSU weather.
Like us on Facebook, once again, FSU Weather.
And you can also watch us live on YouTube now at youtube.com/FSUweather/live. And you can also follow us on Instagram at
FSU Weather.
We're all over social media. You can tweet us anything. And we also have our trivia questions, which you can always tweet us ideas for your trivia question.
I know 30 minutes is not enough for you every day. Just go on social medias. You can always find us.
Weather is important, but for now, I'm student meteorologist Dylan Leith.
And I'm student meteorologist Francesca Lappin.
Have a good night.
Good night.